Opened in 1994 as an educational institution to World War II combat aircraft, it contains one of the world's largest World War II flying airplane collection in the world. It contains 29 vintage World War II flying aircraft, so you might even get the chance to take a ride in one. The museum is open daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. At the entrance of the museum, there's several aircraft on exhibition, such as this F-14A Tomcat. And that intruder you can see there in the background. This next aircraft shown is the P-40, manufactured by Curtiss in 1933 to 1944. It's better known to us as the Flying Tiger for its service in China for Chiang Kai-shek. The P-40 Warhawk was flown by the United States, the Royal Air Force, Australia, and the Royal Canadian Air Force, and retired in 1958 while serving in Brazil. The Supermarine Spitfire was manufactured between 1938 and 1948. 20,351 units were produced at a cost of 12,604 pounds per unit. It was introduced to the Royal Air Force in 1938 and retired also with the Royal Air Force in 1955. The Spitfire served in the Battle of Britain. North American introduced the B-25 in 1941, and it was retired in 1970 while serving with Indonesia. Also was with the U.S. Air Force, the Royal Canadian Air Force, the Royal Air Force, and the U.S. Navy. More than 10,000 plus units were produced by North American. Marine Corps also used it as a patrol bomber and the Army as a reconnaissance aircraft. North American manufactured 15,000 units of P-51 Mustang at a cost of $50,995 per unit. It had a max speed of 437 miles an hour and served in World War II and Korea. Vought was the primary developer of the Corsair. They could not keep up with manufacturing during the war, so Goodyear and Brewster picked up some of the manufacturing. The plane was introduced in 1942 and was retired by 1953. As far as I know about the P17 Kadet, it was used as a training aircraft during World War II and later. My uncle and godfather flew this plane in World War II, both in Europe and in the Pacific. He was shot down 3 times. One time his entire crew was killed except him and his waist gunner. The Grumman F-6F Hellcat was a carrier-based fighter aircraft. The Navy's dominant fighter aircraft in World War II was the Grumman F-6F. Used primarily for the U.S. Navy, it was also used by the United States Marine Corps as a close support aircraft. The aircraft retired in 1960 while flying with the Uruguayan Navy. The Grumman F-6F was produced between 1942 and 1943 at a unit cost of $35,000. It's first seen combat in 1943 and is credited with destroying 5,223 enemy aircraft. It was also the least modified aircraft of World War II. The Grumman F-8F Bearcat was introduced to service in 1945 It was retired in 1963 while flying for the Republic of Vietnam. It was also used by the U.S. Marine Corps, the French Air Force, and the Royal Thai Air Force. There were 1,265 manufactured by Grumman. Grumman manufactured 7,985 units of this trainer. The C-47 was used during the invasion of Normandy and several other major invasions. North American manufactured 15,495 units of the AC-6 Tech. It was used primarily as a trainer aircraft. It was introduced in 1935 and retired in 1985. McDonnell Douglas produced between 1958 and 1981 5,195 aircraft at a cost per unit $4 billion each. It was first introduced in 1960 and retired in 2004 by the Israeli Air Force, and in 2013 by the German Air Force. And in 1996 it was retired from combat duty in the United States. North American introduced the Metro B-25 in 1941, and it was retired while flying in Indonesia in 1970. Those that used the bomber was the U.S. Air Force, the Royal Canadian Air Force, the Royal Air Force, and the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. You might recognize this helicopter from the MASH series that served brilliantly in Korea. Bell Aircraft manufactures the P-63 King Cobra. Its maximum speed was 649 miles per hour with an altitude of 11,900 feet. There were 9,558 manufactured, with 4,779 going to the Soviet Union. The consolidated PBY served as a Marine Patrol and Search and Rescue seaplane. I hope you enjoyed our little tour of Palm Springs Air Museum. There have been new aircraft added since I've been there. I hope to get back and record those new aircraft. If you like this video, please subscribe and push that like button.